Hello again, and welcome to lesson 1 of module 2 of our grant writing, where we're going to be looking at types of funders and what they care about. Module 2 is understanding funders and the funding ecosystem. So this is brought to you by Grant Database, your home for grants and helpful resources. So let's be honest, if you are going to fund or if you are going to become a powerful grant writer, you need to understand one thing better than most people. And that thing is the people behind the money. The people behind the money. Now, because here is the truth, not all funders are the same. Different types of funders support different kinds of projects and they care about different outcomes. Your job is to understand their mindset so you can write proposals that speak their language. So, what we're going to do is we're going to break it down to four major categories of funders that you will encounter in your grant writing journey. Mind you, we have covered some of these lessons in we've covered some of these in the module 1, but it is important again to remind you so that all of these are the basis of grant writing. Like I said in the introduction of this module, is that grant writing is 80% understanding and 20% writing. So you want to do a lot of understanding to know, especially the funders, people that are giving the money, so that you can be able to understand them, you can be able to read their mind, to know their vision and what they want to achieve and how they want it to be done. So it is upon knowing all of these things that you can be able to craft a better grant application for your project or for any project you want to work on. So there are four major categories of funders to remind you that you are going to encounter in your grant writing journey. If you are new to this channel, I want to encourage you to subscribe and to give a thumbs up for this video. At the end of the day, if there are assignments or activities to do, ensure you comment it under this video as well. So let's go forward. So the first type of funder is government funders. Now these include your local or your state or national or federal government agencies. Government give grants to solve public problems. Things like unemployment, education gaps, public health, agriculture, infrastructure, youth development, and more. Like in Nigeria, a lot of examples. We have the TED Fund, TET Fund, gives grant to improve the tertiary education in Nigeria. So this same thing also is applicable in all countries, irrespective of where you are that you are seeing this video. So also in Nigeria, we have the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, that funds community development projects. Right, these are example of government funds that are applicable to us here and might be different from where you are seeing this video. An example in Kenya is that the Youth Enterprise Development Fund provides grants and loans to youth entrepreneurs. So it is important to know what government care about. Government care about reaching masses of people. Government want to reach a lot of people, like masses of people. Also, government care about national development goals. All governments care about all of these things. Government care about reducing unemployment. So, and government care about boosting productivity. And finally, they care about visible impact on citizens. Now, it's important to know, this is a pro tip, that government grants often come with strict reporting and accountability measures. So if you are writing for government funders, your proposal should highlight scale, feasibility, and measurable results. So it's important, if you are writing a grant that you want government to fund, you have to focus on scale of that. You have to focus on the feasibility and also measurable result, because they care about accountability, they care about straight reporting. So they want to see the scale, the impact of the project that you are writing for them to fund. So also the second category of funders, like we are going to talk about, is the private foundations. So now foundations are non-profit institutions that use their own money or that of worthy donors to fund causes they care about. Yeah, like I mentioned, we've covered some of these things in the module one, but this is a reminder, and then is also to boost up your knowledge about the funders. And the more you understand them, the more you can be able to craft a better grant. Remember, 80% understanding and 20% writing. So we have example like Ford Foundation is in the US, United States of America, which supports human rights, democracy, and economic justice. You can just check them out, Ford Foundation. So they do a lot of things on human rights, a lot of things in democracy, and a lot of things in economic justice. And their grants are across the world. They support organizations. They have a lot of call for proposals in Africa, in Asia, in America, like across the globe. They do a lot of funding. They spend a lot of money in funding projects that support democracy and economic justice and human rights. Also, we have the MacArthur Foundation that give grants. MacArthur Foundation is also in the United States. They give grants for education, for climate change, and for criminal justice reform. So, if you have a project that is in line with education, climate change, and criminal justice reform, MacArthur is a private foundation that give a lot of money to support causes that promote stuff like this. And in Nigeria, we have the Tony Elumelu Foundation that offers seed capital for Africa entrepreneurs. So this is also very important. If you have a startup idea, you can apply for the TEF, Tony Elumelu Foundation, if you are in Africa. So they support Africa entrepreneurs. All right. So, and it is also important to know that what foundations care about, they care about social justice and equity. They care about long-term sustainable change. And foundations also care about innovation and new models of doing things. Fourthly, foundations care about empowering marginalized communities, right? They care about all of these things. So, a pro tip I'm going to give you here is that foundations want to support big ideas that match their mission. So your proposal should tell a strong story with heart and impact. So let me take that again. Foundations want to support big ideas that match their mission. So if you are crafting a proposal for foundations, either international or local foundations, your proposal should tell a very strong story, a personalized story with heart and with great impact. So, for example, the TY Danjuma Foundation in Nigeria supports projects in health and education, especially in rural communities. So, a youth-led initiative that trains schoolgirls on menstrual health received funding because it aligned with the foundation focus on access to basic healthcare. So these are some of the things I'm talking about. A strong story. All right. So let's move to the third category of funders and what they are looking for and what they care about. So these are the corporate funders, the CSR, which is the corporate social responsibility. Like I mentioned in the module one, these big organizations they are mandated by law to give back to the community, and how they do that is through this corporate social responsibility. So companies often give back to society through what is known as the CSR. So example in Africa, in Nigeria, is the MTN Foundation. So MTN Foundation funds ICT education, they fund healthcare and youth empowerment in Nigeria. So another one is the Coca-Cola Foundation. Coca-Cola is a very big brand that supports water access, women's empowerment, and entrepreneurship. And they do this across the world because apart from maybe like Coca-Cola seems to be everywhere, maybe apart from North Korea and some other places, right? All right, and also we have Google.org, so which give grants for tech education, AI for good, and digital inclusion. So let's look at what corporate organizations or corporate funders what they care about. Number one, they care about public goodwill and positive brand image. Like we mentioned Google, we mentioned Coca-Cola, and also there is Mastercard Foundation. So all of these they care about public goodwill, positive brand image. Also, they care about supporting communities where they operate. They care about this. They care about economic empowerment and job creation across the world, sometimes aligning with their periods or market, e.g., for example, the Google funding digital literacy or Google AI for good. They want you to use their products like Google Gemini, like AI, for some of the projects that you are working on. So now, it is important to know that when writing to a corporate funder, show how your project is impactful, visible, and aligned with their brand or business goals. So this is very important. If Google is giving a grant, and they want to fund AI projects, and you are telling them that your AI, like let's say Google AI for good, and then you are proposing a project that the project is, you are going to be using Llama AI, or you are going to be using ChatGPT. How about the Gemini? So it is, wiser if you are going to use their product to achieve the goal. So that is what CSR grant is all about, right? So uh, one example I have here is the MTN ICT and Business Skills Program in Nigeria trained over 5,000 Nigerian youth in digital skills in partnership with Google and Oracle. So the proposal likely stood out because it offered visibility, technology, and job creation. So let's look at the fourth category of funders and what they are looking for, which are the development agencies. So these are international bodies that fund programs aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. They often work with governments or NGOs to implement programs. We have organizations like UNICEF, UNDP, and the United Nations Women. Also, in the United States, we have the USA, which is the United States Agency for International Development. We have the European Union Development Grant. We have the DFID from the UK and GIZ from Germany. So, what do development agencies, what do they care about? Number one, they care about impact at scale. They care about data-driven outcomes. They care about alignment with SDGs. They care about gender equality, climate action, youth inclusion. Also, they care about local ownership and sustainability. So, if you are writing a proposal to these funders, they must use and proposals to these funders must use professional language, strong evidence base, and clear metrics. So show that your project is well thought out, inclusive, and sustainable. Um, for example, this is a real example. In Ghana, UNDP funded a digital mapping project to track climate change effects in flood-prone areas. So why did they fund it? Because they funded because it aligned with SDG 13, which is the climate action, which was a community-led and offered data for long-term resilience. All right. So these are the four categories of funders, and you will encounter and what they are looking for. So the key takeaway here is that each funder has a heartbeat. At the back end of every funder are a human being that has a heartbeat. So if you want their attention, you have to understand their values, their language, and their priorities. Right. So now let's do a small recap. We are saying that there are four types of funder that you are going to encounter: the government that care about development goals, public benefits; also foundations that care about justice, social justice, equity, and innovation; and third type of funder, corporates, which cares about visibility, branding, and empowerment. And the fourth type of funders is development organizations, which care about the sustainable development goals, gender, climate action, long-term change, and all. So here is an activity for you to work on. Now, take out your journal or your notebook and write down which funder category feels most exciting or aligned with the kind of work I would like to support as a grant writer, and why. Let me take it slowly. Which funder category feels more exciting or aligned with the kind of work I like to support as a grant writer, and why? So, number two, are you drawn to tech driven CSR grants? Number three, do you love grassroots community health work like the foundation support? Number four, or maybe you are excited by big SDG driven development work, sustainable development goals. So now I want you to know that there is no wrong answer, just your passion and your part. Now, we've done some of these activities previously, but it's important. I want you to go over these activities again, because the more you go about it, the more you understand funders, and the more you understand funders, the more you are likely to get funded for your projects. So there's no wrong answer, just your passion and your part. So in the next lesson, we go deeper and talk about something funders really say out loud, but you need to know, right? Reading between the lines and how to decode funders' buzzwords and missions. So stay curious, stay bold. This is Grand Database, and I'm Oluwole. See you in the next video. Ensure you like this video, ensure you subscribe to this channel, and put down a comment of what you are learning so that I can be able to track your growth. Thank you. See you in the next video.